Okay, for the first data set, I'm just going to draw it out. Okay, so you've got your sources listed here. Okay, you have applications, you have screened, you have qualified, and then you have a QR value per qualified applicant. Then you have interviewed, then you have offered, then you have accepted or hired, and then you have another QR value per hire. When you're figuring out your funnel and how you determine your yield, this line here represents the screening, okay? The screening of the applicants, the process. So if you want to know the yield of this portion of the funnel, you'll take the number screened and you're going to divide it by the number of applicants, okay? So, the number of applications, okay? So, the number of applications will be in this column and the number of screened here. Because in this process, they got screened. So the number that entered the screening process was the number of applications, okay? And the number that made it through the screening process, came to the end, was the number of screened, okay? So that would represent, this percentage would represent the yield of the screening process. Okay, so you would do that, again, this is qualifying those that were screened, and you're going to do number of qualified over number of screened, and you'll go on. Now, to calculate the recruitment costs, okay, so this is what you need to do to calculate your yield for each stage. Okay? Now you've got to calculate your recruitment costs. I'll just say one other thing here. You will want to total each of these columns. So you have your total applicants, your total screened, your total qualified, okay? So to sum the columns in the cell, okay, you just want to put equals and then sum and then a bracket, and you select the cells that you want to sum. And so it would usually be, it'll be a letter and a number for a cell, 2, a letter, and a number, okay? That will give you your total for each of the applicants. So this is your recruitment total. Okay. Now, to figure out your application, your recruitment costs, it's going to be two things added. It's going to be the value or the expense for your qualified applicants, which will be this column here times this column here. So it will be Q, the number of your qualified applicants, times the rate, the QR rate per qualified applicant. Okay? So it's going to be that plus, it's going to be whatever you have here in terms of your hire or accepted hire times the amount here, which would be QR times hire, okay? You add those two things together and you have your total recruitment cost for each source, okay? Then to get your total, you would add all your sources up. Okay, that is what you need to do for data set number 1. Number 2 is pivot table, and there's a video on that.